Hello, this is psychologist Yulia Latunenko with you, and today I will tell you about how the boomerang law works for a narcissist and whether evil returns to a narcissist at all. Today, we will discuss the topic of 5 typical sufferings of a narcissist. Because many people who have been in relationships with a narcissist ask, how is this even possible? How do they even live? Does the evil they bring to people return to them? So today I will tell you that evil is actually what they live in. Evil is actually the essence of the narcissist themselves, and they suffer, but their suffering is very different from the suffering of a normal, healthy person. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please subscribe and like this video. There is a lot of interesting content on psychology on this channel. So let's start with the first suffering of the narcissist. The narcissist is boredom. Because the narcissist is never in the here and now. Because the narcissist never feels joy from the process of their activity, from the process in the here and now. They are not present. They are not here. Therefore, this is their main suffering. They are constantly suffering from the same boredom, not knowing where to put themselves. They fill their life with some pointless dreams about their grand success, about results, about some achievements. But it may be that they spend their whole life in these dreams, achieving nothing. The second suffering of a narcissist, is bipolar disorder. Any narcissist in one way or another is affected by bipolar disorder. It's the fluctuation up and down, up and down. It's the fluctuation of their self-esteem, which is never stable. Self-esteem is a vulnerable spot, a sensitive spot for a narcissist. Their self-esteem is low. And in fact, they protect themselves with their grandiosity from experiencing worthlessness from the fall of their self-esteem. That's why he becomes so angry and toxic from time to time when his self-esteem drops. But you will never know when his self-esteem will fall. Only he knows that he is guided by certain triggers that for a normal person are not triggers for a drop in self-esteem at all. Therefore, to protect himself from this situation, the drop, in his own self-esteem, he may become arrogant, condescending, toxic, critical, devaluing, inflating his significance at the expense of devaluing others. Thus, he essentially uses other people to fuel his ego and boost his self-esteem. And this, believe me, is a great suffering for a person who does not know who they truly are, does not know their weaknesses, does not know their strengths. They are constantly swayed by what others think or say about them. And a narcissist is a person who is reflected in the views of others. He does not live. He tries to appear in the eyes of others. And this is a great suffering. The third suffering of a narcissist is that a narcissist is emptiness. He is not there. There are wrappings, there are masks that he changes from situation to situation. There are feelings that he demonstrates because he has learned these feelings. He is a very excellent actor, but in reality, he feels nothing. However, there are still a number of negative feelings, which I will mention in this video, that he experiences. But believe me, these feelings do not bring him a drop of joy or happiness. Narcissists are very prone to the imposter syndrome because they actually don't know their strengths. And even when they achieve some success, it seems to them that it's precisely because they have very low self-esteem. In reality, they think it's a coincidence that it's actually their own merits. The moment is about to come when they will be exposed and everyone will see who they really are. This is one of the extremes that a narcissist experiences. And to protect themselves from this, they rise up and try to take a superior position, to feel grandiose. That is, these fluctuations, which I mentioned in the second point about bipolarity, are fluctuations, well, between the pole of worthlessness and the pole of grandiosity. I remind you that you can subscribe to this channel if you like this video and give it a like, a thumbs up. This is very valuable to me. So the fourth suffering of the narcissist, it will be about the feelings that the narcissist still experiences. And these feelings relate to his ego. These feelings of shame, it's a total shame, and he avoids this experience by any means. This is anger, which is a defense mechanism against experiencing shame. This is envy and jealousy. So please tell me, do these experiences make a person happy? That is, there's no need for any boomerang. He lives in this hell. He creates this hell himself and lives in it constantly without leaving this hell. So when you ask me if a narcissist can be happy, my answer is no, and again, no. Happiness and narcissism are incompatible things. And the last, fifth point of a narcissist's suffering is that he constantly compares himself to other people. In doing so, he denies the essence of himself. He is constantly looking for external standards that he wants to resemble, or he compares himself unfavorably to other people to boost his self-esteem. Well, I am so grandiose, I am so unique, I am almost something godlike. Or sometimes the opposite process occurs, and this is a bipolar process where he compares himself unfavorably, but no one will ever know about it. You might only discover that he compared himself to someone and hit rock bottom, only because he becomes angry at that moment. By the way, I want to add to that third point where I mentioned emptiness. Into this emptiness, the narcissist tries to stuff either alcohol, drugs, some games, or sexual addiction. Among them, there are many who are sexual addicts, who are just like hungry, obsessed. They become consumed by sex. Therefore, this is suffering. It is not a normal, healthy life. When you ask me whether the evil will return to him, it never actually left him. Anywhere, it has lived within him completely since childhood. Because we know that narcissistic trauma forms before adolescence, and it is related to how the parents treated their child. Unfortunately, one might feel sorry for this person who became a narcissist, but the amount of harm they cause to others, without realizing that this evil resides within themselves, is significant. Subscribe to my channel, like this video, and stay tuned for new, very interesting videos on the topic of psychology. The more likes you give, the more people will find this useful information. So a lot depends on you.